now we're moving along to really the final part of our day. And it's really nice to be here when we have two people that I think have been very pivotal to getting this Women's Exchange up and running. And they are Vasanthi Srinivasan, the Executive Director of the Ontario Strategy for Patient-Oriented Research Support Unit, and who was the past Assistant Deputy Minister of Health System Strategy and Policy at the Ministry of Health and Long-Term Care. And as well, we have Nancy Kennedy with us, who's the current Assistant Deputy Minister of Health System Strategy and Policy at the Ministry of Health and Long-Term Care. And I would like to, and it's a real pleasure to have Vasanthi join us on stage to present the first Graduate Student Poster Award. So welcome to Vasanthi.
Thank you, Paula. We gave you the task of carrying out the sex and gender analysis for all of our research in Ontario, and look what you've done in a very, very short time frame. Thank you so much. I was there for the kickoff. This is brilliant, and to all her team, just a huge thank you. Joy, if I may, when you put up the aspirational slide, last but one, that said envision, we're doing it. All our research, which are headed by Michael and Shannon, who are with us, I don't know where they are, maybe have left to, there. All our research grants are now given on the basis of the strength that the applicants bring to their ability to do sex and gender-based analysis. We've brought ISIS along over the past several years to make sure that the data is available. So it's happening. We're always happy to give you our end of the work and the impact it's having through Nancy and others to bring to Ottawa to say it is doable. So on this, absolutely wonderful day, it's my pleasure and privilege to present as the Student Research Poster winner, Jillian Gedeon. And as you know, Jillian's work, of course, was assessing the experiences of intra-uterine devices by users living in the Thailand-Burma, Myanmar border. Wonderful. Thank you so much for the work you do. Yes. And congratulations. And doubly thrilled she's from my alma mater, U of O.
So thank you very much, Vasanthi, and congratulations. Well done. Now I'd like to invite Nancy Kennedy to come forward, and she will present the next award.
I'm going to say the name first because I can't wait, and then I'm going to say a few words afterwards. So the next award winner is Grady Arnott. University of Ottawa, no exceptions, documenting the abortion experience of U.S. Peace Corps volunteers. Fantastic. And I had to look at it. It was a wonderful poster. I just have to echo Vasanthi's words, and I have to say, it is just, I am so impressed with what I've seen today, and I am actually so proud that the ministry has been funding the Women's Exchange. And I have to say, what's really wonderful about some of the discussions today is just how much you can do with $15,000 and how creative and interesting some of the projects are. And really, as a policy professional, I really think about the impact of some of these projects, and my mind was turning in my seat. I was really excited, for example, when we were thinking about the nail salon worker project about, what can we do policy-wise with our labor policy? What can we do with our health policy? How do we actually make change for these women? I wanted to also provide a practical example of how we're bringing a gender lens to our broader systemic health policy. And this is based on some discussions I was involved with the government on its compensation policy in healthcare recently. So you'll know that the government announced that it was making a wage increase for PSW workers. And being part of sort of BPS compensation policy, I was up at the Cabinet Office, and labor was my file. It's a very macho world, labor relations. A bunch of guys in hotel rooms talking about how we should fund workers. Late nights, not a lot of women at the table. But when we started actually looking at the data and who we were funding in the BPS, most BPS workers are women. And at the bottom end of the rung, in healthcare in particular, all women workers. And for the first time when we started looking at our policies, we said, hey, wait a minute. And this was also very due to the fact that we have a very strong female premier. We need to start looking at how we do our policy work in this area and look at the impact on women and women from an economic perspective and a healthcare perspective. So when we think about gender and how we can actually make changes in our broader health policy from a systems level, that's really a big interest of mine. And so I know Paula and I are starting conversations about, when we're thinking about integration, system integration, when we're thinking about healthcare compensation, when we're thinking about healthcare capital policy, for example, where we put our money. We've all been to a hospital with little kids to visit a sick relative, no place to leave your kids, no change table, except at women's college, and then on the executive floor, I might add. So I was very impressed. So just to say, I'm really impressed with the work you're doing today. I think it's wonderful, the research that you're doing, and I'm really excited about the potential to take that research and how we actually change our policies in the healthcare system to drive a more women-centric and a more gendered, diverse perspective. Thank you.
So thank you both to Vasanthi and Nancy for your comments and for your continued interest and support in getting this whole thing off the ground. So much appreciated. I'd like to congratulate our student award winners, and thank you to all the graduate students for your wonderful posters that were out there. They were excellent, and it was really good to see that kind of work out there. I'd also like to thank the student volunteers who've been around here today, the people in the white shirts who helped make everything run so smoothly, much appreciated. And thank you as well to our community-based research panelists and to Paulette Senior for her work in sharing that. And of course to Joy Johnson for everything that you've done. It's been so inspirational. It's been a pleasure to have you join us here today. Very much appreciated from all of us. So stay tuned for the Women's Exchange Fall event, which is going to be coming out shortly. And then, of course, there'll be the spring event to follow, which is always really good. Currently, the fall event is scheduled for November, and so we'll give you more specifics about that. And, of course, look out for those updates on the Women's Exchange on the website. The word is out there. We expect that there's going to be a lot of interest for the next competition. And you'll see things about the deadlines. You'll see things about the work that's already been done. You'll see things about the videos that are ready to be posted. So there'll be a lot of interesting things for you that I think will be very relevant to your research projects. And most of all, thank you all for coming out today and for taking part with us and for sharing. I think it's been a really great experience and a wonderful day. Perfect to see all these connections and all the buzz in the room and good things starting to happen. So thank you all.